This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Respect My Blueprint podcast. This is your host, your main man, Blueprint Mastermind. And of course, guys, you guys know every week we bring y'all the dope episodes as far as entrepreneurs, movers, and shakers that's doing it out here, and we go and hear their blueprints on how they was able to do it. You feel me? This brother here has been doing this thing for quite some time, y'all. Quite some time, you feel me? Okay, and not only is he a YouTuber, right, in the YouTube world, but he's also an entrepreneur, you know, an engineer, music artist. Man, this man is touching several fields here, and you know what? He has a very, very dope story that all of you guys should be able to resonate with. Man, without any further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce Bean. What's going on? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, bro? How
man,
you feeling?
Glad to have you. How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good. I'm in Miami, man.
Oh, now you got to feel good naturally when you pull up here, right?
Yeah. You come to Miami, it's no way you can't feel good. So I'm feeling amazing. I'm ready to get it in today.
That's what's up. Well, you know what? You in Tampa, though. Tampa it gets lit now out there. Come on now.
Yeah, so Tampa do get lit. You know, I've been out there for a year now, so it's lit. It's more subtle, though. You know, when you come from the Midwest area, the Chicago area, compared to, like, a down south area, hospitality different, the weather different,
right.
The ground is different. Like,
right.
You get what I mean? Everything is different. The food, just the culture in itself in its entirety is completely different. So, you know, waking up in the Florida area, it's like, you know, I'm almost like kind of changing, you know, my culture and stuff too. It's like I don't have to be as defensive. I don't have to be as defensive as I was in, you know, the Midwest. It's like, you know, coming from the Midwest, amazing city, but it's also grimy.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, it's very grimy and aggressive.
And it's funny because, you know, first of all, you know, you mentioned that you came from the Midwest. You kind of already hinted to everybody that you came from Chicago, just like just the lit one here, Jesse, right?
Yeah.
Now from Chicago, and Jesse, I'm gonna throw it to you because you showed me a clip of the dude of that triple homicide.
Oh yeah,
from Twitter, right? And I seen that, and I was like, damn, bro. Like, there was an argument outside. The dude kills the dude. Like, literally kills the dude, kills the girlfriend, that shoots it, like, literally executes. This is in
Portage Park.
Portage Park, too. 3-4 people in a matter of 45 seconds, right? And I seen that, and I'm like, damn, this is Chicago.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the city of Chicago, the way it's going right now?
To piggyback off everything you said, like, just to get like a quick indigestion of it, I didn't move from Chicago because of that reason. Because, like, when you grow up in Chicago, it's really sink or swim. It's like only the strong survive, if you think about it. And, you know, some people get caught in the mist, like casualties of war, innocent bystanders, kids, things of that nature. In terms of me moving, the reason that I moved is because I touched my ceiling in Chicago. I went as far as I can go in Chicago. So it was either deflate myself or it was continuously elevate. And with the team that I work with and the other entrepreneurs that I work with, we started our own company, and we were able to acquire our own warehouse for manufacturing, for shipping, and things of that nature.
Word?
So it made more sense for me to get closer to my baby that I actually own, opposed to do business from a distance. When I'm doing engineering work, I'm doing AutoCAD, and I'm creating new products and things of that nature, I can't do it from a distance the way that I want to. Just like simple things, breaking down metric systems. The USA use inches, and in China and Korea and things, they use centimeters and things of that nature. Just as simple as breaking down metric systems, you want to get closer to the source. So that was a big reason of me going to Tampa, to get closer to my baby, which is my company, Tune 45. So,
but you know what? Hold on, man. You know what? So I gave you a sort of a red carpet introduction, but I don't think I really properly introduced you, man. You feel me? So go ahead and let the audience know what you got going on, who you are, like, because I say again, you're the engineer, the artist, the entrepreneur, YouTuber, but really unpack that for everybody real quick in an elevator pitch.
Okay, so to unpack that for you guys, I started barbering at 9 years old. So I used to watch my dad.
Hold on, wait, kid, what? Like, hold on, man. Man, you ain't even old enough to hold, like, for real. Come on, for real?
Yeah, okay, so look, check it out. My dad used to cut everybody's hair in the neighborhood. He used to cut their hair on the back patio or cut their hair on the front porch.
Right.
With that being said, I used to just grab a chair, sit there, I'd be doing my homework, I'm watching them cut hair. And what made me interested in cutting hair wasn't the actual process of cutting hair. It was the instilling confidence in men. So coming from this grimy city, I've seen men come to get their hair cut and be overly aggressive, or you knew something was bothering them, but from a kid perspective, you didn't really understand what it was. So I've seen my dad behind the chair change people's lives, like saving people's lives as well. Ain't no telling.
From a haircut.
From a haircut. And what makes it even greater, if we can just do a quick, like, fast forward in the future, right? So I told you I started at 9 years old.
Right.
Then me being in the shop around 22, 23 years old, I was able to literally connect with my dad through this because I've saved people's lives as well. I had clients that came in the shop that told me, when you a barber, for one, you like a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I'm sitting down with these guys, I'm cutting their hair, and the dude just tell me like, bro, woo this, woo that, I'm ready to do something to somebody. And me hearing it from that aspect is like, okay, cool. Like, you know, you see the rough things every day, but me executing. And I remember with that haircut, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take my time. Let's see if I can cool them down. Not just with the haircut, but with words. Let's see if I can pour life into somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, so I sat through a haircut, which haircuts take me anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. I cut this client hair in an hour and 30 minutes. I gave it more tender, loving care in terms of my execution, my attention to detail, and also assisting it with a great conversation. And within that hour and 30 minutes, I changed the person's mind frame to me wanting to do something to somebody. So I want to go talk to some girls, or I want to go kick it with some girls. So
Okay.
So
at least change his day and perspective for that moment, right?
Yeah, when you're able to use your own tools to change how somebody maneuvers through their day and to save a person that you don't even know, meaning like if they wanted to do something to somebody, whoever the person they do something to is the person you saved, and you saved the person who hair you cut. You saved two lives in one.
Real talk.
So it's like when you think about it, I'm instilling confidence. I'm giving these men something else to live for, and then people are getting jobs. People are like, it's just so many things that come behind spinning a chair. So it's like,
wow.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So if I was to come into your barbershop in Chicago, and I was just to come just regular, maybe trying to guard it with the hat on like this, and I was to pull this hat off like this. Look.
okay.
Oh,
It gets ugly under the hat, doesn't it?
It gets hard in the yard, man.
What could you do for me?
All right, so
help him out, man.
So there's definitely plenty of things that you can do with
Come on now,
people
come
who-
on. The LeBrons, the Kevin Durant's in the
Yeah.
world, the Jessies in the world.
It's
help
too
'em
many
out.
people. It's too many people in the world. It's too many good like artists in the world with barbering. If you want it all gone, we take it all off. If you want a Tory Lanez where you can, you can finesse it and make it look like you got hair, we can do that as well. The thing is, like, skies is the limit. The same way they do in women culture and what women do with their hair is some women who literally have no hair and they got lace fronts and things of that nature that can, bring a woman all the way back, full 360. Do the same thing with men. It's just, with those services, they do cost a little bit more and they're a little bit more time efficient. But in terms of what you want to do with the hair, it's like if you came in there like, hey, I want a full afro, I'm gonna give you a full afro.
He gonna make it happen for you.
Yeah.
But that's hope for you then, bro.
Hey, you too. Don't act like you not bald.
Man, I love this shit though. Listen, man, y'all check out the past episodes. Y'all know I go ahead and advocate for this bald shit. Now you feel me? But okay, so you've been cutting hair since 9 years old.
Yes, it's 9 years old.
Wow. Okay, so hold on. We gonna start you as little baby bean. Usually, of course, for black men growing up, we don't. It's the narrative that we've come up from a rough upbringing and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Did you have to go through that rough upbringing as well too to also inspire you to start cutting hair?
It wasn't so much of a rough upbringing, but it was so much of my mom and dad hustle together. So like I feel like what I don't see in society today with parents is them actually taking the time to connect with their children. So I feel like parents are almost like parents are almost neglect signs that they see based on how they discipline their kids. So sometimes you can see a parent like,
but we're in a different era right now. Like if you discipline your kid too rough, you can get in trouble for it versus back 10, 20 years ago where you could really put the switch on your child.
Yeah, so that's understandable. What I'm saying is I come from an era where I was scared of my mom and my dad. Kids nowadays not even scared of their parents.
Big facts, yeah.
So it wasn't nothing to like today's society. Parents got to pry out what the kid is going through. You got to like almost sit there and overly work yourself just to get your kid to tell you what's going on. And back then, we'd just tell it just because we ain't want to get a whooping. So with that being said, like in terms of a rough upbringing, it wasn't a rough upbringing, but it was more of a hustle-like mentality. Both my mom and my dad both like overly worked their tails off to give us the life that we always had. So me being the oldest of 4, I got 2 sisters, I got a brother. Only thing I seen was hustle. Only thing that was instilled in me was hustle.
What part of what part of Chicago you from?
So we from the south side of Chicago. We really closer towards the Harvey area.
Side? Is that really what they portray on the...
It depends where on the south side. So not all of the south side is terrible.
Yeah,
you know
so I'm like more closer to the suburban Harvey area. So I'm like in a state line-ish area. But like every area is bad. North is bad, east, west, south. Yeah. Like today's society is what they put in the music and it's how they show it.
The drill music,
like that's it's a part of it. But being closer to the south side and the wild hundreds of the Chicago area at the time, I didn't know that it was as dangerous as it was. To hear the stories as I got older and to see things with my own eyes was like, whoa. Like
that's a whole different,
The stuff that we see in the movies is nowhere near close to what you see in real life.
Okay, so hold on, we're gonna fast forward a little bit then. Okay, you know what? So you started your own barbershop in Chicago.
So I didn't start my own barbershop in Chicago, right? So we go from 9, then I make it up to high school. I graduate high school and I go into college. So the college I went to was Indiana State, stayed closer to home.
Indiana State?
Yeah. So Sycamores.
What the fuck,
So
man?
Sycamores. I went to Indiana State University, had a full ride scholarship. I stayed closer to home. My mom ain't really want me to go too far, so I was like, you know what, cool. Full ride.
So
For what? What was the scholarship for?
Yeah.
So I had a Franco Bannis scholarship. I had a scholarship. I'm trying to think what was. I had the college bound scholarship as well too. If your parent owned a house in a specific area, however many years, if they owned it for 5 years, you'll get 50%. Up to 8 to 9 years, you could get almost 100% of your scholarship paid for.
Amazing. That's amazing.
But
that's
you
dope
also,
gem right there.
but you also had to meet those requirements of having like at least a 3.0 or higher to be qualified for that scholarship.
So
you took school somewhat seriously and everything.
I took school completely seriously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I took it completely seriously. So I was able to graduate high school when I was a junior in high school.
Damn.
But I stayed my senior year because there was only one senior class we had to take, which was senior government. Took in my first trimester out of 3. The next 2 trimesters, I was basically a TA for all of my teachers. So all of my homies passed as well. If you get what I mean.
We giving everybody A's. Like,
if it came to
salute to the head the beam. Yeah, what up?
If it came to grading papers and getting things together, I just stayed around just because I wasn't physically old enough to enter college yet.
Oh,
so that's why. So it's like, you stay around.
It's like you 16, 17 at that point, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yep. So it only made sense for me just to be able to help out a couple of my homies with C+, B-, just to edge it. Nothing too crazy.
That's honestly real. That's real,
for
right?
real. We need that shit. Some of them teachers be, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah. So like I said, we go to Indiana State. I apply, give me an electronics engineering degree. So I major in EET and then I minor in computer engineering. So I go.
Yo, yeah. You hold on, bro.
I always wondered. I watch your videos.
Yeah.
So and you sound really well spoken.
Yeah.
That's always you've always been like that then.
So I think that's just a gift of gab. I think that's something that I was just born with.
Period.
Just being able to,
And it's
put my
crazy
words
because,
together.
You just mentioned you came out the South Side. You came from a rough environment. Coming out the hood to sound educated is an anomaly sometimes. You feel me? So you kind of like, how is that? Do you ever get that Uncle Tom remarks and everything like that? Oh, you think you da 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 da? Is that something you got to deal with? You feel me?
Well, I never had the
I
never had the Uncle Tom, but what I did have, I always felt like I had to overly prove myself because
you sound educated.
I sound educated for one. I look different. I got head full of dreads, and then I'm hoodied up in jogging suits most of the time. So ain't no telling how people stereotype me. But I know in college, 99% of my classmates were Saudi Arabian kids, were white boys. It was only one other black person that went through the engineering program with me. We both graduated, but when you sit in classes with people who don't look like you, they look at you a certain way. You come into class late, it's like, you get what I mean? So I always felt like I had to prove myself, which is why I was always on top of my grades, which is why I was always better than everybody else. Like I made that my
you had to
thing.
prove yourself this whole time, right?
Yeah, so a lot of people thought I was would cheat or things of that nature during college, even when it came to building circuits from the ground up. And I would do these circuits in 5 and 10 minutes because this was stuff that I was doing since I was a kid. I used to build Lego sets. I used to take my Xbox apart, rebuild it, and things of that nature, but you gotta learn. That was just my natural gift. I didn't know what I wanted to go to college for, but I knew I was good at math. My number game is crazy, definitely. So I knew I was really good with numbers. I knew I was good with geometry, angles, things of that nature, which is how math.
The boring shit.
Yeah, which is how math and barbering go together because geometry is shapes. We talking about 90 degrees, perfect lineups, things of that nature.
Wow.
I'm able to cross both of them together and use them both together and create an executed look in a haircut, or if I'm just on paper and pen and using numbers.
Yo, that's wild, bro. How you was able to marry both of them together like that?
Yeah, I didn't even thought of that.
So I'll give you an example, right? It's kind of like third and fourth grade math when you would get common denominators. They had this subject that's called common denominators.
Right.
When a fraction is too big, you multiply whatever you multiply it from the bottom, you multiply it from the top or whatever to break the fraction and make it even.
Right.
With that being said, same thing as a lineup. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. I'm just literally using analogies and different. This is how educating. This is how educating for barbering became easy for me because it's like, how do you explain the most complex things in the most simplest ways? I use third and fourth grade math. Those are my analogies. That's how I bring the worlds together so people can physically see it in their head. I did this when I was 9 and 10 years old. So you take it back and make it that dummy proof. That's why I have so many mentees that are great at what they do now.
That's a good segue into the next topic I wanted to discuss here because you also, started your own school and educating barbers and also, having other individuals who want to become a barber. How did you get into that?
So me doing YouTube for all of these years, when I was in college, I was trying to figure out how could I make money without doing work study and how could I stay on top of my grades because I knew to keep my scholarship in college, keeping a 3.0 was like trying to keep a 3.8 in high school. So I knew the workload was crazy just to keep a 3.0. So I'm like,
in college, just to keep a 3.0,
it takes some work. It takes some work.
I would know. I dropped out of college
6 times over here, but go ahead.
So I knew it was going to be difficult, so I started doing YouTube. I got the iPhone 5S. I remember I stood in line for it. I had
what? Hold on. So what year this is you started doing YouTube?
I started doing YouTube in 2014-ish, 15.
So you a pioneer of
yeah,
what you do.
You one of the early goats then.
Yeah. So that's when I started, that was the iPhone that came out with the fingerprint scanner, the gold one.
Yeah.
I just had one of my friends record me on the floor, and once he recorded me, I dropped a video. I put it together on iMovie, dropped a video. It had no commentation. Woke up the next day, it had 2,000 views. I'm like, I didn't even promote this. I ain't do none of this. You see people drop in comment section, post more. So I'm like, okay, I started posting. Then I started looking up YouTube. Was it possible to monetize from YouTube? And then this whole time I was seeing I had to do nothing, right? So Jesse come up in like the modern day age of YouTube.
Of YouTube,
where
right,
you
which
have
is
to
different
have,
now.
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. When I started, you were able to monetize right off the
Off
rip.
the bat.
Get the
So
I remember those days.
So I'm
Good old days.
looking at it and I'm like, okay, 2,000 views, right? So I'm like, this whole weekend I got haircuts. I recorded like 10 haircuts with just my iPhone. I had my cousin with me. He was recording the haircuts. We got all the videos out within like a 3 or 4 week span. I already made $400-500. Anybody knowing in college, financial aid is the worst thing possible. I didn't even get my financial aid, but I had enough money to get my books right then and there. So boom,
Right,
I was able to
okay.
buy my books. I looked at it like, okay, only thing I got to do is cut hair. I can make the money to fund my life, basically.
Right, pretty
So
much.
it was when you was doing it, it was like a hustle to you.
It was a hustle to
Because
me.
your
Straight
parents
up.
had already instilled that in you. So
Yeah.
when you seen this, it was like, man, I'm finna get to the hustle.
Yeah,
but
It's easy.
it's easy.
But YouTube. But you wasn't even planning on being a star on YouTube. This was just on some. Hey, let me mess around and see what it is. Then.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was all about posting. One thing that I noticed, though, I was looking up all of the competition, right? So it's like, look up everybody who do what I do. This is before it got serious. It was, what could I feed or what could I give people that will watch my video something that other people can't get them? That's charisma. So that's character off back. That's my music selection. I pick 90s, 90s or 80s R&B, and I put some 808 and some hip hop trap to it, so it give it some swing. Somebody watching my video, they bumping their head. I remember Candy Rain. I remember things. You get what I mean? So
Right.
you play them blasts from the past with nice 808s. I'm thinking of it in terms of YouTube works off the monetary value comes from watch time duration. It's not how many views. You can have 1 million views and the average person watch your video 30 seconds. You're not going to make no money. But you can have 50,000 views, and on a 20-minute video, if you average 15 minutes of average watch duration time, you could bring home 10K a month. So now I'm looking at it. Now this is where the numbers is coming in.
Don't
at.
be all you want to be YouTubers out there. Yeah. Oh, Jembies
Or
have been dropped now.
aspiring
Come on,
YouTubers.
you feel
Yeah,
me? Go ahead.
yeah. So this is where it comes from. I'm looking how to literally break this algorithm, because at this point you can post, you can do the views, but it's like, how do I get my algorithm to work for me? If you try to work the YouTube algorithm, your video's gonna hit or miss. But then you got to find a pocket for yourself, right? So this is how you train people who watch you. I knew off rip. I'm in college Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I knew them 4 days I'm in college. Fridays I had off, Saturday, Sunday I had off. I'm going to use all my time to do all my haircuts Friday through Sunday, but I'm going to start releasing my videos the same days that I'm in class, meaning it'll never be like I'm not working. Whole time I'm working on the weekend to record the videos and break them down, I'm able to post these videos and not have to do no work throughout the week besides my schoolwork. So then I train these people Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I had them on Mondays and just Wednesdays, 2 days out the week, right? So they knew every week, Mondays, Wednesday, 10 a.m., Beam dropping a video, right? That Beam dropping a video at 10 a.m. because I'm walking in class at 10 a.m. So like once you train people to that, and I kept that momentum going, Mondays, Wednesdays, 10 o'clock every week. It became a time where I just take a break off on Monday or Wednesday, like, hey, we missed our video. But then at that point, I noticed, like, not only is they waiting for the video, I'm putting them in my own algorithm. I know when my highest viewers time is going to be. They know to come here Monday. They know to come here Wednesday. They know to be here at 10 a.m. Then I have my competitors who are posting Mondays and Wednesdays. It's not about being better than them, but it's about if they are bigger than you, you post in the same time frame as them. You get thrown in their recommended videos.
Yeah, so
now all of a
basically
sudden, so like you look at it, let's grab Barber X. Barber X has 3 million followers. He drops on a Monday and Tuesday. He's going to bring majority of the people on YouTube, right? So what I do, I drop the same, I drop another video within a 15-minute span of his video. Let's let his video ride for 7 to 15 minutes. I drop my video at the 15-minute marker. If they don't like his video, my notification
you're
pop
the
up.
fallback.
They come here. If they finish his video, they still know my video dropped. So I let him do the heavy lifting while waking up these millions of people to watch his video. Then they're going to piggyback and roll right into mine.
You giving out a lot of free game.
Bro,
This is what it's
man.
about.
Oh, man, listen, y'all lucky I ain't charging for subscription for this podcast, man.
So is
Bro,
that is that where
that's
CPN
crazy.
comes into?
So they got two different things, CPMs, and they had the what's the other one for Yeah. So clicks per minute, things of that nature definitely comes from piggybacking off of somebody else's channel or
Right.
your competitor's channel. If you have a couple people, like, check it out. Barber X, 3 million followers, Beam, 50,000 followers. My 50,000, 9 times out of 10 came from his 3 million. Because we all barbers. So I'm pretty sure most people that's watching barber videos is coming from other barber channels. Same thing with like a podcast. People who watching podcasts is coming from podcast to podcast.
Right.
With that being said, you let them do the work. You let them work the algorithm. You just take the people that they wake up and let them roll over to your channel. And that's how organically I was able to do it.
That's great. You know what? So you really take even this YouTube serious. You really have broken down the side. This is not just that's let me try something. No, let me dig down the rabbit hole and really
study that.
Yeah, so learning a pocket on YouTube for me was difficult, and it was only difficult because I thought posting on YouTube, only thing I had to do was post on YouTube. But when
most people think, right?
When I learned that it was an algorithm, when I learned that you have a specific green window to be in for your videos to even be in somebody else recommended, then I'm looking at titles of videos. Then I'm looking at thumbnails. Then I'm looking at what keeps them in the video. All of these factors matter to get the video to skyrocket. That's the difference. The average YouTuber is just going to post a video. But if you have like a thoroughly thought out plan of it, but you also have like your thumbnails, the content in the video was good, the title of the name, but you also have these other outside entities in terms of your competitors that's doing 90% of the work for you, you just ride the wave and let everything just roll over to you.
Piggybacking off other people's
stuff. You let them do the work and your channel just clean it up and take up all of the success of it. And that's all it is.
Yeah. Right now in 2023, right? 2023, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've kind of, if I'm not mistaken, fell back from YouTube a little bit, right?
So I fell back from YouTube a bit, like just going to Tampa, doing a little bit more work in terms of what I needed to do, but also like finding other passions, right? So it's like I knew that barbering was like my first initial love. It's that one love where it's like I'm not looking for
love right there.
But as a kid, I fell in love with something, and as I got older, I started to see how I was able to make it monetary. But then as I started to grow into myself and who I was and the things that I actually liked since I was a kid, I thought about it at the end of the day. It's like YouTube's amazing, barbering's amazing, but what are they gonna do to help me get my next thing jumping?
Right.
So I looked at barbering and YouTube as a vehicle. It's just a vehicle to get me to the next destination. I take my influence from barbering. I take my influence from YouTube. I mix the two, and then I bring in my third world. Now I know 500,000 plus people who follow me through these two won't all just roll over here, but because I have X and I have Y, the average artist, let's talk about music artists because I like music, but like let's talk about the average music artist. They start off, whether they're amazing or they bad at what they do, they have no form of following, no form of support. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So how I was speaking about letting, taking everybody else's algorithm, letting it roll over, I'm doing it with myself now. Now I'm still in my support system. I'm still in my algorithm, and I'm letting it roll into my music, because if I'm able to create a real opportunity from it, I can sell my algorithm to anybody then. Now I can package up how people can literally grow themselves. So what I brought to this show was gems and jewels that the world may never get. Maybe people that's like close, when I go to barber shows and things of that nature, they walk up to me and they ask me how I do it. Right. I tell them, because you got people in the world who believe that the game is only meant to be sold and not told. But realistically, how do you continually receive blessings if you're not willing to step down or pour back into the game what you learn? Ain't nobody teach me the game this way, which is why I'm willing to give the game away this way. Because I never felt like I wasn't blessed. I never felt like my blessings stopped. That's why I continuously pour all the knowledge that I know into people who may be the next generation. I won't be here forever. Being won't be the barber forever. But I love so many other things. So
nurture the next, what coming behind.
Exactly, and I use these two big things, my barbering, my YouTube, to be my vehicle to get to my music or get my music heard.
Which good segue to the next point. Your music, because you're also an artist.
Yeah.
So Talk a little bit about your music. How long have you been doing, you've been rapping? How long have you been into hip hop? And, what is the current vision for it right now?
Okay, so I've been into music since I was younger. Younger. My dad, if you come from the Midwest, then you gonna know R&B, music, soul, Childs, Skate, R. Kelly, things of that nature. Just coming from the black background in Midwest, we would literally have family reunions. We knew this music, stepping music, things of that nature, step competitions. Like, I come from R&B, but I also love rap and things of that nature. I love all of the music really to be out there. I even like some country. I like some reggae. I like a bunch of different.
Have you ever noticed when you speak, you sound like you almost on an R&B track all the time?
That's the best thing. The best thing that I love reading in my comment section.
Smooth lover, man. Stop playing, man. Go ahead.
Everything is so smooth.
So I never in my life thought that I would ever do music. Not because music is music, but I never thought that I would do music because I was vested elsewhere. But then I had them people that's in my comment section who tell me the same thing Jesse just said over these beats. Bro, I had to stop it and then replay it to make sure you wasn't rapping, the way you putting your words together sound like you rapping. So it was you should try rap. That's what they said. You should try rap. I have hundreds of thousands of comments.
So from the comments and your followers that inspired you, encouraged you, that's what kind of led you into rapping?
That's what led me into doing music. I moved to Tampa. No family. I was furnishing my house, and I'm like, man, I got a computer full of beats. And then I was just thinking to myself, I wonder if I could make a record. And that went into me.
That's when Gremlin came about?
So that's how Super Gremlin came about. But I will say that to say this. Not only did...
Wait. What do you mean that's how Super Gremlin? What are you talking about?
So I have a song. I have a song on YouTube, which was a cover to the Kodak Black Super Gremlin.
Right.
I had did my own freestyle over it. But before that came about, Jesse brother Jerry, he's not here, but he's really, really, really good at music. Been one of my homies, close friends since I was younger, 13 years old. We've been playing Xbox for the longest. But his brother, really dope at music. Nice. He could rap, he could do everything. But me and his brother, that's what we always did. We always freestyled around each other. But his brother, actually good at music. So I asked him one day, I'm like, you think I could do music? You think if I tried to do it? He yeah, you gotta try, but it's I'm gonna tell you if you bad or if you good. So the first couple records wasn't as good. So I had to learn cadences. I had to learn flows. I had to learn how to do double entendres. I watch battle rap a lot as well. So it was how do I have one point and then I can break it down in multiple segments? Wow, and that's how I start creating lyricism and things of that nature. So
you're a student to everything you put your time into.
Yeah. Because it has to have some form of purpose in it for me to fully dive into it. If I have no purpose or I don't have a maze that I can go through, I can't do it.
Is that part of the engineering aspect of you, the engineering mind that kind of always had to be building things, creating things in your mind also as well?
I believe everything that you just said is 100% true. Because the worst thing about everything that we talking about, the engineer mindset, like women, because one thing, people, I don't know how people gonna take this in the interview, but I learned through college and experience that broken women, not overly broken women, but broken women was the women that I desired. Because it was about rebuilding a person and showing a person their potential. But then you have my mom. One day I'm in college right before my graduation. She a doctor had did some messed up stuff, so my mom was coding, meaning she died on the table multiple times, but my mom didn't pass away. I was able to have a conversation with her about the woman that I was dealing with at that time, and she son, I know you more than anybody. You have to look at this thing. You choose broken women because you've been doing it since you was a kid. The same way you chose that 1,000-piece Lego set. You like building things up. But she told me this. You got to question yourself as a man, because if you're willing to build it up, and once you build it up and it's done and you leave, then what? Because if you do that to a woman, you build her completely up, you rebrand, and then you leave her, you do number break her again. So it's my mindset is engineering the whole way, But that's been my only downfall from it. So I take all of these segments, YouTube, music, just my conversations with people, building relationships, building a brick and mortar business, creating products, things of that nature has always been on the engineering side of it. Then my personal life,
Right.
I used that same tactic and didn't even know that I was breaking people more. Like, I could have left them alone. I broke them more than what they was before I met them because I showed them so much life, gave them so much potential, showed them so much more, and then left because the project was done. So it's like, then you got to go back into
You damn near toxic. That's
so like
There's many future right here, man.
So like no. So like I'm not. I'm no. So look, hold up. I know that probably gonna come out bad.
Damn.
But let me recenter that. Let me recenter that.
Okay,
What I'm saying
okay.
is I don't go in with the intention of she's broken. Let me fix her. Let me break her. What I'm saying is like I automatically have an engineering mindset of if I see broken, I fix it.
Period.
But then
Okay.
when it's fixed, I go to the next thing, not just the next woman, but I give my attention somewhere else because I'm always fixing. I'm always fixing.
Which I understand
So
that,
unintentionally, I'm breaking women.
So let me ask you a question. So what are your thoughts is about today's society of women? I mean, do you feel like there's a lot of broken women that's out there right now?
No, I feel like genders have switched. I feel like more
Everything
men,
got pronouns now and shit.
more
I mean, like, what's going on?
more men are women nowadays, and more women are men. And maybe it might be their music. Maybe it's like the independent thing. They don't need a guy and things of that nature.
You think that's a Midwest
is-
thing, though?
It's not just Midwest. Like
It's heavy in the Midwest, though.
it's heavy in the Midwest, but we see it come from down south too.
Down
like
south too, yeah, because you
Megan
got
Thee
a lot-
Stallion, like,
and that's
she independent, she don't need a man. That's what she
I
said.
You got a lot of women now that feel like, you know, they're able to make the bag, which of course I understand that and everything, and I have nothing against that. But, you know, the way conventional society has been for a very long time, you know, again, the males has been pretty much been the leading force, the one that's been, you know, now it's like, especially in our culture, a lot of single mothers are forced to become the father and the mother in the household.
Yeah, and it's simply off of pride. When you think about it, a man, if his only job that he could have would be McDonald's sweeping and washing the floor, he'd rather be broke than do that. But you grab a single mother, she'll work any job in the world
give a damn,
to
yeah.
bring in some money. So then you look at the statistics of it, you got more women who like lead regular jobs. Like they make more income than men nowadays. Not just in terms of the high earners. I'm talking about low and middle-aged people, like women is leading the workforce. Because men are too prideful to take a McDonald's job where they gotta clean up, and they rather be broke than to do bottom of the barrel work. But a woman won't, and that's the difference.
You know, when you just said that, right? I'm thinking in my head. I just was at McDonald's. I'm thinking like there was not one dude in there working. It was all women working in that McDonald's.
Dudes,
That's a solid
yeah,
point.
I mean, you go catch them at Popeyes if anything. You know what I'm saying?
Not
But
even.
yeah, you feel me? Yeah, but I do agree with that.
Yeah,
You
that's
feel
a
me?
good ass point.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like when you see things from that angle, then it lets you know. Like you have to look at it. Why are women leading the workforce itself? Then you just look at the bottom of the barrel jobs. Who are working them? Women. Men would rather be broke than to work a bottom barrel job.
And do you think that's
a
from
fucking
society?
problem. That's a society.
I think it's definitely from society at a certain point, but also you got to go into this person past as well. Like, what type of background do you come from? Do you come from a hustling background? If you don't come from those backgrounds, like you got some people who were born to be rich. The first time that dollar is gone, they don't know what to do because they only seen dollars in their lifetime based on inheriting money from higher ups.
Right.
So like
right.
when I look at things of that nature, like you have to look at society for one, but two, then you got to look at a person's background. It's where you come from that'll determine how you act in society.
Good point. Okay, you know what? So we gonna stay on the topic of society and everything like that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey, Beam, I'm glad you drank that cup because all the ice is melted.
All of it melted.
oh, come on, man,
Damn,
out of there, out of
babysitting the
there,
hell out of
man.
that. But you was dropping some shit though.
I mean, but no, that's
Yeah.
what my thing is, like, babysit the drink, but I want to give you guys as many jewels as possible because who's to say who watches this interview? Who's to say who's inspired by Beam? Who's to say who's inspired by Blueprint? You don't know. I come here, I give y'all everything that I have to mold the next generation.
Okay, as a matter of fact, so you're an educator. Because
Yes,
I
sir.
want to state, you educator, you have your school of empowering other barbers and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, most people don't on it. Also, you created your own product. You sell also barber equipment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Shaving, right? Because so how did you even get into that?
Okay, so YouTube got really big, right? And when I got
Right.
around 200,000 to 300,000 subscribers, at that time it wasn't solo person with a lot of followers. It was, how do I use my followers to basically up my style of this barbering? And then I had to look into influence. I was influencing and I didn't know it. I was influencing. So I have one of my business partners, Chris Bossio, shout out to him. That's one of my business partners. He's another YouTuber as well.
Right.
But he already started a business, and this business was going amazingly without me. But he saw what I could bring to the table, right?
Right.
So he come from the background of like more of a Hispanic descent background in terms of the clients that he brought to the table. I come from more than the African American
Right.
clients that I bring being in the Midwest.
Right.
But also the African American guys, people of our color, like sharp, crispy lineups. They like the Steve Harvey look. So I was
Right,
bringing
okay.
in laser focus. I was bringing in
Another bald dude. I
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
I was
Okay.
bringing in color enhancement. I was bringing in just different enhancements throughout haircuts that can not only up the ticket behind the chair, but
Right.
install confidence. It might be a person with just a light spot in their corner. How can I filler that in, or what products can I use to filler that in
Maybe
to give a person a more fuller look? And with that being said,
What could you can't do that.
no, I could definitely do something like that.
But right
We
now,
could-
just
we could
keep,
do something
you know
like
what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is like, Bossio seen the potential in terms of what I can do with the influence. It took working with them. Once I just sat down with them one time in Atlanta, it was a big barber show. I met them for the first time. We sat down, and then I linked up with them another time. He was like, with you doing color and everything that you do, what if you were able to create your own product? With that being said, it was like, okay, when people create products, a lot of people nowadays, they like going to Alibaba. They like getting pre-made products.
Right.
The company Tomb 45 basically supplied me with capital to design from bottom to the top. With that being said, it's like they handle majority of my workload, but I was able to etch and sketch. Me and my dad created our products together, but the objective behind it in Tomb 45 itself is a barber company that not only makes male barber products for like your clients, but education is before everything.
Right,
So investing
right.
in your education is the smartest thing possible. How are we able to intertwine these products for a barber to make more revenue behind the chair? And it's just like, how do you take one barber here? If me and Jesse both barbers, right? And Jesse got like 50 clients. I got 100 clients, so I'm maxed out. Jesse still want more clients. Me as a person that's cutting 100 heads, how do I make more revenue behind the chair?
Right.
I can't physically cut more heads, meaning I implement ad services. That's where color enhancement come in. That's where hot towel shaves come in. That's where you
Oh,
add these
that
things
extra thing to
around
make
your
it
services
right.
to make
I see
them
what
cost
you're
more.
saying.
I had a question. So,
Yeah.
so what you saying all of that, right? Mm-hmm. Listen, when I was young, I was getting haircuts for $20, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah, how
service
much-
has not changed. With some barbers, they're just riding everybody else's waves. That
Yeah, and
add
what-
everything else.
That's a good question. Go ahead. I want to follow. I have a
How do
follow
you
up.
feel about barbers that do that? That just piggyback off the services that real barbers, not saying that they're not real barbers, that other barbers provide, and they
That
just up their
separates
prices.
you, yeah, because you take that extra step and everything
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying,
You
yeah.
feel me? So how, that right there, that extra step, is that also what also helped your YouTube career as well too?
That extra step definitely helped the career. And it only helped the career because, remember I told you at the beginning of the interview, I was trying to do things that other barbers wasn't doing.
Right.
Everybody was just doing haircuts. But then I started showing them how I'm adding these services. Not only these services, I'm showing them before and after pictures, before and after responses to the clients.
Right.
When I spin a chair and I get them the mirror, they're seeing real reactions.
personal touch, you really-
Yeah,
okay.
they're seeing me literally use and add these services to what I do daily. and I'm making $100, $150, $200 per haircut when I really only charge $45 to $50 in the shop. So they see that I'm adding these bonuses. Now I'm a six-figure barber. Because now I started off making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year. I started incorporating these products and things that I was doing. I was clearing six figures in 8 months out the year.
That's crazy, man. Y'all hear what he just said? Like, he's
Did y'all
adding
just
add-ons.
Man, listen, because we just had and it's funny because recently we had SRT Life Shack on the show, which he built his empire off of washing cars, and we've also had other female artists and everything like that. They've built their empires from starting hustling and everything. So now to hear you as well build your empire off of cutting hair, it's really a gem and an inspiration for the viewers out there, because again, the show is Respect My Blueprint, where you have individuals come and share their blueprint. It's a level of inspiration for the barbers out there, because before social media, barbers didn't really have a lane. And we really think about it, like, what's the most famous barber out there?
No one knew.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there was a trendsetter, there was a precedent. So, the only precedent on it was the movie Barbershop.
So look, I'll say this. I'll say this to piggyback off what you said. 100% right. Barbershop, maybe the biggest anomaly. But in terms of barbers that were big, Tomb 45 itself. A lot of people ask us the question, what do Tomb 45 stand for? Barber Mary Mayat. In Egyptian times, they will only bury people of royalty in these tombs. But in terms of being a barber, in terms of creating legacy for yourself, in terms of being number one of number one, this man was so great at what he did that they buried this man in a tomb. But only people of royalty were buried in tombs. So Tomb 45 is based on legacy. The motto itself is die a legend. It's creating legacy. And that's what we do. When we put them in products, when we give back education, we're creating a legacy. Because there still has to be another generation of barbers. I won't be here forever. I accepted that. So what do I do now today that changes and that creates a path for newer barbers to get to where I got to in an easier span or a quicker span? And that's lay the blueprint. I did that.
You hear that? I like that.
You like that double entendre?
I like that shit. You did. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. That blueprint shit don't play around here. You feel me? Okay. So, all right. So now I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about your music career and everything. Well, first of all, hold on. No, not your music career. Being a YouTuber, because a lot of people don't understand this. Me, as you this platform, we're new into the YouTube world and everything. Jess, you're an established YouTuber and everything like that, so maybe you have some insight to share on this. How I want you to share with the world how hard it is to actually break into the YouTube world, because everybody think that, I could just pull a cell phone and boom, I could go ahead and become an overnight success story. Is that really the case?
Well, it's not no more, because we talk about an oversaturated game. So like
everybody
YouTube
wants to be a YouTuber now.
It's oversaturated. Now, one thing I can say that like I'll always respect Jesse for is I came into barbering when there was one or two people. Meaning if I was great at what I did, I was gonna get noticed regardless.
It wasn't people competing against.
In a reacting phase, where there's millions of channels that overly saturated the game that make people like Jesse like very difficult to discover, which is why the Lit Ones is one of the nicest and dopest platforms to come out, because he weeded the competition in an oversaturated game.
Right.
Yeah, and finding that niche is what makes his platform organic. There'll be another Jesse. There'll be somebody who wants to review UK, but he laid that blueprint. So they know who to go to. And that's the difference. You bring something that nobody is doing and you do it at a high level, you will grow organically.
Hey, I could cry right now.
I watch
that shot. Good alley-oop.
My thing is, I watch him and he don't even know it. Like me and his brother, like really close. So I've been watching him since the beginning. I seen him. Jared told me about him when he only had 2,000 subscribers. So to see him at 50K and up, it's like I remember what that felt like at 50K. I remember what it felt like to finally bring in a $200-300 check. Ain't no telling what he making now, but now it's like he's growing organically. He ain't got no help from nobody. He doing it on his own. He got his own setup, and he creating dope content. There's no way around it. That's a real content creator. So now the more things that he implement in his style, the more things that he upgrade, like you'll see it down the line. When I was at 50,000, that's about time I bought a new PC to start editing better. Then I started buying new cameras and things of that nature.
Just kind of building up a little more.
So the more he grow and the more he invest in his channel, the more his channel is gonna grow. Same thing that happened with me. But to watch him at 50,000, is like, bro, I seen that when there was 1,000 and 2,000 people that was following him. It's dope that he was able to weed that competition, and his consistency rate is through the roof. He's bound to grow, being as consistent as he is. Like, come on, you have all the factors.
And I'm banned from YouTube right now.
You banned?
7-day ban. They hit me. They did me.
Why would you do?
All right.
That's crazy, man. What?
I was reacting to some shit.
Oh shit.
That
they say
they
was
call them
inappropriate.
nunces in the UK. These are pedophiles. I was reacting, and a pedophile seen me reacting to it, and he took offense to it, and he started reporting all my videos that are on that
topic. Yeah,
took them, and all it takes is one report for you to get a community guideline strike. It's not like multiple people have to report.
Yeah,
only
just one person.
One person. That's
yeah,
all.
Just one person. If the content is there, they'll make it happen.
Yeah,
they'll give you a community strike.
But the thing that blows me about it the most is the original video, because I'm a reaction to them. The original video is still up.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here, bro.
But mine, gone.
But the difference is the regular video probably wasn't monetary.
No, you're right.
If it was monetized, somebody would have. But
somebody got to pay the price.
You
right?
making money from it, so
they
they gonna hit them with a community guideline.
Like, when you just said that, I'm like, damn.
So now what you do when you make videos, you don't even have to stay away from that topic. You could do the topic again, just don't monetize it. You gotta certain videos you have to be willing not to make money off of. That's how YouTube grew for me. When I was using samples and Kanye West beats and things of this nature when I first started, I didn't know if you use somebody else's beat. I didn't know nothing about copyright clause. Certain videos on my channel wasn't even making money. Like the Super Gremlin freestyle. Didn't make no money. Kodak owns 100% of the song and the beat. But I was willing to drop my first song on the highest diss record in 2022 and still accumulate 60,000 views on my first like rap video song. So
without any
monetization,
exactly,
no money made from the video.
Desire to monetize on it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm using these as vehicles. I'm still making money from haircut. It's still residual. That's my vehicle. Meaning I can carry this music freely to when I start dropping my own music, my own, like I have my own beats and things of that nature. These vehicles help me get here. Because this free stuff in the middle don't matter. This is just work. This is just this foundation. If I don't have this foundation, this building right here crumbles when that time comes. So this is all foundation in the middle. The free stuff, doing it for not making no money, doing it because of the love of it. That's my hard rock foundation. If I had that foundation when I get here, it's impossible for my empire to crumble because it's built and structured correctly. That's the difference. That's the difference, bro. That is the difference.
Longevity.
That's longevity. That's a plan.
Thinking, yeah, that's actually that strategic approach right there. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, damn, okay, I'm not going to seek monetization on this, but like you said, this is just a vehicle for me to get to that next level and everything like that. Okay. You know what? So that's... Okay, so we have touched on your YouTube career and everything like that. So, you know, now, fast forward and everything, you have a lot going on, bro.
Yeah, a lot.
We got
a lot going on now.
You know what I'm saying? So we got which I want you to go ahead and see if you can share to the world. You know, what is it that you got planned for 2023?
Well, 2023 for me personally, 2023 involves me getting back consistent with YouTube because I need my vehicles running.
Oh, so you're going
100%.
back to YouTube again?
Yeah, so like I never stopped doing YouTube. I just dropped a video last week, but my consistency in terms of dropping weekly, you get what I mean? I'm going back to weekly videos every Wednesday, 10 o'clock, putting my people back in a schedule. I'll use them videos. Every barber video from me average anywhere from 100 to 200K in terms of haircuts. So I drop a barber video for 2 weeks straight. That's about 200,000 views accumulated. Boom, drop a music video. Then drop a barber video again. So I keep my music in the middle.
Okay.
keeping the activity of my channel high from my barbering,
Right.
doing what the channel was built for, and then I'm just using the activity from my channel, them thinking I'm coming here every week for a haircut. You come here for a music video this time. The next week, back a haircut. So I'm just meshing my worlds. In terms of 2023, I'm focused on my music. My catalog is big, so I only have one song that's out, which was done almost a year ago. I got like a catalog of 40 songs in my phone now. So I've been working on trying to find engineers and things of that nature to really get these songs,
enhance the music and everything.
how
right?
it should sound. Yeah, I got a bunch of ideas in my phone and things of that nature, but this whole 2022 was about developing my style of music, finding out who I was. I don't want people to hear me and be like, oh, that's another Lil Baby, or that's another Tory Lanez, or that's another such and such. If
You're very lyrical.
If you have no organicness to you, it's gonna be hard to grow. And with that being said, it's like the lyrical stuff that Jesse talking about, what got me in that bag is his brother. Like, his brother's very lyrical. Rapping wasn't my thing. I'm more of a harmonizer. I'm more of a singer,
Like you say,
R&B
you came from
type
that R&B
person.
background in Chicago and everything.
But
right?
I know, like, when I look at people like Tory Lanez as my favorite artist, he's versatile for a reason. His #1 hit was Say It. It was an R&B song. But the boy on I-95 and on Funk Flex rapping better than 99% of the rappers, because that's the hidden talent. That's what we work on.
Right,
So me
okay.
being an R&B artist, the R&B area, that swang is where I live at. That's my pocket. But being able to rap and have a pen in the game, you have to be respected to some form of fashion. So I've been working on the music in total itself. Like I said, 40 songs in the clip. I'm ready to go this year. I'm ready to drop my first EP.
Yo.
I'm ready to drop my first EP. You get what I mean? So I'm just trying to find an engineer that I can work with, that can do some artist development with me, that can help me understand these plugins and things of that nature at that level.
Really bring your music to that next
Because
level,
I want to sound, when people hear me, refreshing. Like, oh, who is this? And when you first hear that artist that you ain't never heard before, but he got that sound, like, I can hear the potential. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on the sound being.
So let me ask you a question. What is your feel about my Chicago music right now, the way it is? You know, because Chicago went from the R. Kelly era to now drill music. So what do you feel like?
Being from Chicago though, it didn't go from it didn't
It
go
was
straight from there to there.
Oh Lord!
It went.
There was a bridge. There was a bridge.
There's some in between stuff. Right?
Yeah. So you got the Twisters, you got Kanye's, Commons.
Okay.
Those are the in betweens that built. That's what I'm telling you. Here don't matter. It's this middle. Kanye, Twista, Common. Those are the structure. That's why you can go from great R. Kelly music to structure to this BS drill stuff, because the foundation is there. Meaning drill can live in today's society. So it's not me thinking that it's bad. I feel like some of the drill rappers are great. I feel like there's no substance behind it. I feel like if I hear Drill 'em and Kill 'em in more than 2 songs, then I just change the station, because at the end of the day, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I promote. But like, there's no purpose. There's no substance in it.
Right.
Like, you can find lyrics, you can find hidden bars in it. I like melodies, things of that nature. But if there's no substance behind somebody losing their life, it makes no sense.
Question. So have you heard the new form of drill with the melodies behind them?
So the new form of drill with the melodies behind it,
I didn't even know that existed.
I haven't heard that much about it, but I know, like, watching the New York drill scene, they did a lot of, like, I know Pop Smoke before his demise.
Florida too. Florida. You know how they take R&B or pop songs and they make them drill beats.
Yeah. So he's talking about what B Love and them do. They take old R&B songs.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
okay.
but it's like this rapping cadence to me still throws me off, because it's so aggressive. It's so. You
gotta listen to UK drill.
Yeah. So no,
Smoother.
way smoother. UK drill is way smoother. I agree with you, but in terms of like the drill itself, like, it's cool. But like me personally, it ain't my style of music. I feel like it's perfect for all of the artists that are doing it. Right. But at the end of the day, like, not only artists, but people got to remember, whatever message you put out into the world can spin on you full 360.
Yes.
So you put Drill 'em and Kill 'em, I'm the realest in the world, ain't nobody gonna step to me. If you able to create an opportunity and you have a show and you get people in freaking Nebraska, a place that you wouldn't even think, a step to you based on the lyrics and the stuff that you say, just to test you. Your life is in danger off the strength of your lyrics.
The words that she was putting out
My
there,
baby
the
mama-
energy she was
My baby
putting out
mama
there.
does not want me to take my daughter to the UK because I react to UK drill. And I keep it a buck with them because I'm really like that in Chicago, you know. And she does. She's not. No, she's fearful of it. She doesn't want me to do it.
Right. I mean, and honestly, I mean, especially today nowadays, you know, drill music the popularity has been there, but you know, it's just succeeding from trap music.
Yeah.
You know, as trap music, that's laid a good foundation for our culture as well as the way the evolution of music has gone and everything. And you know, so I mean, going from trap music to drill music, do you feel that, you know, drill music will have the success of drill music? Drill music will have the success of trap music?
It can't. It's impossible. The only reason I say it's impossible is because the drill artists that are out now, the B-Loves, Pop Smoke, Fetty Waps, things of that nature, they can be around for forever, but I don't believe, like...
There's nobody leading the charge, really,
yeah,
in my opinion.
Because Pop demise. If Pop didn't die, he had it. He could have carried this wave. But when we talk about trap music, you talking about Gucci, King of mixtapes. You talking about T.I.,
yeah.
King of Down South,
Jeezy.
Jeezy. Like, we talking about people who get 15 plus years in the game at the highest level. Drill is just this new sound to where in the last 3 years, if you really good at it, you can get by.
Which I think Fabio, Dirt, you know. I'm telling.
New York drill is not.
It's not the real drill. It ain't the real drill.
But it's still recognized though.
So I agree with you because those UK drill beats, that style of instrumental on top of the type of lyrics that they bring to the track, created a new sound. This is why Pop Smoke sounded different. You already got somebody with a raspy, heavy voice that carries a beat. So if you bring the right instrument to them, like it sounds like we seen them take Pop Smoke voice off of Billie Jean and put it on Michael Jackson actual song. His vocals carried the song.
Yeah, his vocals was like almost an instrument within itself.
Exactly.
You know, there's some people that have that.
So now you got people who don't have those vocals that are only reliant on the instrumental itself.
Period, yeah.
But if you peel that instrumental back and you listen to it, like, you don't have to be Common, you don't have to be J. Cole, you don't have to be Kendrick Lamar with lyrics, but if it have no substance, you leaving people to a dead end. It's hard to continuously believe and pay for something that has no substance to it. Now, we talk about a Dirk. Sometimes he ain't got no substance. But a lot of these songs, he can turn regular songs and gold RAA songs to platinum songs because he's the melody of the streets. He know how to create the melodies. And the melodies is the most important.
And that's the Chicago thing.
That's the Chicago thing. Like
the melodies, that's the...
yeah. Melodies is it.
That R&B background.
It's been in. The R&B background is what make it like amazing. Like that's where a lot of my music is going. It's going into melodic tones and, you know, putting some rap in there. But melodic tones is what really create the vibe and the essence of the track. If you can create that and somebody can do this, it's a rap. You got them. You got them. But if somebody like trying to get what you doing, it's like, you get what I mean?
Do you feel like lyrics is a lost art nowadays?
I feel like lyrics are not as appreciated as they should be. I feel like the ability to write isn't appreciated. But, I mean, you got to find those people. Like, one of my favorite artists, I love Dave East. I love Dave East because that boy can rap. I like that he can rap. Now, music-wise, it's just like sometimes it's like, man, I really wish East could really kill it on the music.
Really get it to that next level, right?
But a lot of people won't give Dave East a chance because the music ain't vibey or because it don't have no substance, but because everything he write matters and how he structure it matters. Man, you got to be a listener to do that.
Okay. So let me ask you a quick question. What do you think of the Young Thug situation?
The Young Thug situation, man, you only can pray for people like that because at the end of the day, I don't know Thug personally enough to speak on the situation, but I do have friends who are in the inner circle in terms of him creating opportunities. In Atlanta, a lot of opportunities was created for people. A lot of housing was created. That man put a lot of people on the map. So in terms of the legal part of it, don't know enough about it to even really speak on it. But in terms of what he do for the streets of Atlanta, the people he put in positions to actually make money and take care of their family, it's tough to take somebody like that away from the inner circle because now you telling me hundreds and thousands of people can't even feed their family no more because he out the mix. That's like a Nipsey situation. Not saying he's the same person as Nipsey. When they took Nipsey, they took thousands of opportunities
Somebody
away from
who
people.
was a leader in the community and everything like that.
Yeah, and that's the person who was feeding people. Like, how do you
Right.
take? It just took the opportunity away from regular people. Now these people got to start over, and if they don't start over, they got to revert back to it, which is systematic genocide. You put people in poverty-stricken areas, they're gonna do poverty-stricken things to make it the next day. Which, hence Chicago, only the strong survive. You put these people in places that they can't manage, they can't pay for. They're gonna do things that people in poverty-stricken areas would do.
You know what? Okay. So with that being said, you know, this is a good segue into this last question here, because I always will ask this question. You know, with all the aspiring artists and YouTubers and even aspiring barbers out there, if you could share one blueprint that you can leave with the viewers as far as wanting to go ahead and build their empire in any one of those lanes, what would it be? The one secret, the one, you know, whether it's consistency, hard work, one secret that you have utilized in your life that you would like to share with everybody as far as building their blueprint in any one of those lanes.
Foundation is your purpose. And by me saying foundation is your purpose, like I explained earlier, with no foundation, the building crumbles. So when foundation, it can be a broad topic. It could be consistency. It could be your content. It could be your character. It could be how you deal with people, how you network with people. If you don't have a strong foundation, forget about the end result, because it's not going to be there long anyway. You build that foundation, you have longevity. It's that simple. With no foundation, the building going to crumble. With foundation, you have longevity. And you want to do this thing for the long time, or you want to be in it for the short time. In short time, it's like, if that's what you want, you go for it. But if you
end up flaming out, right?
Yeah, but if you want this thing to actually matter, you want it to make some real money, you want to create opportunities for people, you want it to be bigger than you have to have foundation. Foundation.
Period.
Is your purpose.
You know, so with that being said, you know what? First of all, Beam, man, thanks for pulling up, man.
I appreciate
Dope
you.
conversation and everything like that.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
so with that being said, before we go ahead and end the show, I know you have a lot going on in 2023. I want you to go ahead and share with the world, you know, a little bit as far as what to look out for. If you have a, you know, of course, you say you want to drop it on the EP.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the EP.
So you go ahead and let the world know what else you got going on, including the EP, and also more important, your social media handles, so everybody will be able to know how to go ahead and follow you as well too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 2023. Be expecting an EP from me. I haven't really came up with any names yet or any list of how I want to list these songs, but be looking out for an EP. Hopefully in the Mayish, June-ish area. That's when I'm trying to have everything
summertime.
finalized. Yeah, summertime-ish, because I got a bunch of R&B breezy things for the females. I got some stuff
Dope,
they can move their
okay.
hips to, some stuff in the club, and some
Alright,
Bobby
that's
stuff.
what's
So
up.
yeah, that's what I'm really focused
That's
on.
where the
2023.
energy's going to right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you liked anything that I said, or if you was able to get any jewels from this interview, my real name is Amorio Bennett. On all my social media, all my panels, I go by Get Beamed. On Instagram, it's Poppy Beam, PAPIBEAM. And I had an amazing time at the Blueprint. I want to shout out to Jesse for making this happen. I want to shout out to Wesley for getting me up here,
Absolutely, yeah.
having a good interview. And to anybody that's out there that's viewing, that's watching, if you want to do anything, remember, foundation is purpose. It don't matter who you are or where you are in life. Your foundation is purpose, and if you make that your purpose, then you're going to be here, or you're going to be past here. So the sky is not the limit. You know, you exceed expectations. We got galaxies for a reason.
That's what's up. And of course, with the foundation, that's how you do build your blueprint. And you know what? You know, I want everybody to, you know, the past few guests of, you know, you guys have witnessed in our past few episodes, we've had, you know, old school entrepreneurs. You know, we've had new school entrepreneurs. We've had entrepreneurs that's made it in the most untraditional ways. You know, like I said, from car wash to barbers and everything, and again, even the insurance brokers. So, you know, and here this platform, we like to touch all fields, and I like to go ahead and use this platform as a level of inspiration, because again, I shared this in one podcast that most people don't know this. You know, it was a George Floyd incident that kind of inspired me wanting to do this, because again, the young lady with the cell phone was able to broadcast that incident to spawn the whole movement and everything like that. So, you know, now also that leads to the explosion of like podcasts and mediums like this, where, you know, long time ago this wasn't even possible. So now we're able to go ahead and tap in with one another and be able to share information and insight and levels of enlightenment, right? So, you know, I hope everybody was able to definitely pick up the gems, because one thing I can say, I think you've dropped the most gems. Easily drop the most gems within an episode. You feel me? I should be charging y'all, but you know what, man? We're going to have another discussion about that. But listen, of course, all the links to Poppy Bean will be in today's bio. Make sure you check him out. Show him support. Of course, you know, black excellence and black support is the main thing we want to do here, as well as share each other blueprints. You can follow all of the past and future episodes on all streaming platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Apple, as well as Google, guys. And as always, we're going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. Hey, shout out to our sponsor, Uptrend Credit. Listen, if you're having a hard time understanding how credit works, or you want a better understanding of how to boost your credit, you definitely want to check out Uptrend Credit on learning how to leverage your credit to hit your goals. Now, Uptrend Credit is an easy-to-use credit monitoring platform that's utilized to help close the wealth gap with the right resources in helping you doing so. So definitely check out uptrendcredit.com to see how you can help stay on top of your financial goals. Now, let's get back to the video.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep.